Hey there, Stage Math students, and welcome to Homework 3.8 mid-unit quiz prep. If you've watched the video, you can obviously go ahead and check off. It's due tomorrow. Calculators are okay, and this is super important for your quiz, so pay close attention. So for the first problem, it's simplifying ratios. If there were 35 students and 10 adults at the basketball clinic, what is the simplified ratio? Notice how it says it, of adults to students. It matters the order. So I can't just put 35 over 10 because that would be students to adults. So I want to compare adults, to students. So adults on top, students on bottom. And that means I've got 10 adults over 35. And then it said simplified ratio. So I can't just say 10 over 35 is it. I got to make sure I simplify it. So obviously divide both by 5. And so I'd get something like 2 over 7. I can tell you a question just like this will be on tomorrow's quiz, so you got to be able to know how to show work just like I've done, right? And you got Coach Young there for some motivation, right? So it says, what is the simplified ratio of students to total people? So how do I get the total people? Well, if I had 35 students and 10 adults, that means altogether I have 45 total people, right? So it's students on top. That's easy. That's a number we know already. And people, or total, I'll say, total on bottom. So that would be 35 students over 45 total people, right? Because 35 plus 10 is 45. Again, I got to simplify it, so divide by 5 here. And our answer is 7 over 9. Okay, it says 5 more students came late to the clinic. What is the simplified ratio of students to total people now? Okay, so again, I'm still doing students, and I'm doing total people as well. So think about it. If 5 more students come, that means the students number, which was 35 people, gets plus 5. And the total number, which was 45 people, gets plus 5, right? Because students count as total people as well. So your ratio becomes 40 over 50, which you can simplify by dividing by 10, right? And so you get 4/5. If you don't believe me, always can check on a calculator, right? Cool. All right. For the next section, we have the ratio of Xbox owners to PS4 owners is 2 to 3. That's important. Xbox to PS4, 2 to 3. So it says, if there are 25 Xbox owners, then how many PS4 owners? I am comparing Xbox to PS4, right? So Xbox had 2 to 3, and now it says if there are 24 Xbox owners, that means it goes on top with Xbox, so that's 24 over X. Some of you may be able to see, oh, I just multiplied both by 12 here, right? Others of you may have to do this cross multiplication, right? So 2 times X and 3 times 24. 2 times X gives you 2X. 3 times 24 gives you 72. And then you solve simply by dividing both by 2. So your answer is, for X is equal to whatever 72 divided by 2 is, it's 36 people would own PS4. So PS4 owners, okay? So it says if there are 80 owners, how many of them own PS4? So notice, owners is a total number, okay? So we should almost write total here. So basically, I'm comparing PS4 to total people, all right? So if I had PS4 owners, that's 3 because of the 2 to 3 ratio, but it's actually for a total, it's 5, right? Because 2 plus 3 is 5. So the ratio of PS4 to total owners is 3 to 5. So if I got 80 total owners, that means I don't have any information about PS4, so that's X over 80. And now I go ahead and cross multiply. So I got 5 times X, which is 5X, 3 times 80, which is 240. And then to simplify, I go ahead and just divide by 5. So 240 divided by 5 gives you 48 people. So that cancels out. X equals 48. So 48 PS4 owners if there were 80 total owners just in a room, okay? So Lastly, if there are 75 owners, how many more PS4 owners are there than Xbox? Oh boy, okay, so we're still comparing, I think, PS4 to total, right? And that would be, okay, if there's 75, so this is still 3 to 5, right? Because remember, the total is just the 2 plus 3. And this time it's x over 75, all right? So everything's still good, and this is 5x, and this is 3 times 75, so 5x is equal to 3 times 75, which is 225. And then to solve, you divide by 5. But now you got to be careful because x is equal to 225 divided by 5, which is 45. So that means there are 45 PS4 owners. But that's not what the question asks. If you go back carefully, and I'm definitely putting a question like this on tomorrow's quiz. If you go back carefully, the question says not how many PS4 owners there are, it says how many more PS4 owners are there than Xbox owners. Well, if 45 of them are PS4 owners, that means the rest of them have to be Xbox owners. And we know we have a total of 75, so let's just do 75 minus 45. So we've got 30 Xbox owners. So there are 30 Xbox owners. So then how many more PS4 owners do I have than Xbox? Well, 45 and 30, that means there are 15 more. 15 more PS4 owners. Okay. This next section I'm going to do very quickly. It's stuff we've seen before. You always want to write what you're comparing and then just solve the proportion. So Kristen bought 6 packages of strawberries for $18. So I'm comparing basically packages or strawberries and money, right? How many packages can Alberto buy if he has $9? So my first ratio was 6 packages over $18. My second ratio just talks about money, right? And money goes on the bottom, so it's x over 9. Okay, so then I cross multiply 18 times x and 6 times 9. So we have 18x equals 6 times 9, 54. And to solve, I simply divide by 18. So I've got x is equal to 54 divided by 18, which is 3. So he can get 3 packages of strawberries with $9, right? Please make sure that you show our work just like I have, because there's a process to these, okay? Number 9, Rivertown and Santa Cruz are 36 miles from each other. How far apart will the cities be on a map that has a scale of 5 inches to 18 miles? So I'm comparing miles and I'm comparing inches. So my first ratio is inches to miles. So be careful. If you put miles over inches like I did, you actually have to put 18 over 5. If you put inches over miles, then you can do 5 to 18. All right, equals, and then this one says 36 miles. So miles goes on top with miles, 36 right here, over x, right? So we'll do 18 times x, which is 18x, equals 5 times 36, which is 180. And then divide by 18, and x equals 10. Okay. And then lastly, we've got state if each pair of ratios forms a proportion. If they're equal, the answer is yes. So 2 times 16, that's 32, and 4 times 8, that's 32. So does 32 equal 32? Yes. And the very final section is the unit rates. Remember, unit rates is per 1, right? So it says a baker's dozen of cookies is on sale for $2.08. So find out how much per cookie. So it is price, the money, over the quantity, right? So we're simply saying, okay, $2.08 over 13 is equal to x over 1, right? And really, you could do this cross multiplication and all that stuff to solve it, or you could just say 208 divided by 13, and it will tell you that x is equal to 16 cents per cookie, right? It ends up being division. If you don't believe me, look, watch. 13 times x, that's 13x. 1 times 208, that equals $2.08. Divide by 13, divide by 13. 208 divided by 13 equals 0.16. So just like either way works, okay? And lastly, for 18, the cost of 2 pounds of cherries is $8.58. What is the unit rate? So it's, again, money over quantity. I'm just going to put Q this time. So 8.58 over 2. Again, you could set up a proportion equals x over 1, and you could solve it like that, or you could just simply do 8.58 divided by 2, and you'll see that x is equal to $4.29 per pound. Okay, that's it. You've got the rest. Call me if you have questions. Please study. The questions will be just like this on tomorrow's quiz.